The moving confession of Victoria, Carlos Alcaraz's grandmother. In recent days, there is one name that has dominated international headlines. Carlos Alcaraz, 22, has crossed borders, and his thrilling victory in Australia has turned him into the man of the moment. Not only sports newspapers are talking about his achievement, but many other aspects have also come into play, including those related to his family, the one that is always by the Merchant tennis player's side. His grandmother also experiences his emotional triumphs and recalls the athlete's civilian connection, as she herself is from the very neighborhood of Triana. The Alcaraz family has spent years trying to stay away from the media spotlight. The main protagonist is Carlos, but inevitably other faces appear alongside him. In fact, his parents are his fundamental pillar, as he himself acknowledges. This helps the tennis player keep his feet on the ground while dealing with so much success due to his victories on the court. However, many insist on comparing him to Rafa Nadal in terms of becoming a legend of the sport, although Alcaraz prefers to continue enjoying what truly makes him happy. The connection with Seville and Triana. Alcaraz proudly represents El Palmar, the Murcian town where he was born and raised. However, he has Andalusian roots, more specifically Sevillian ones. Victoria Escandón, his maternal grandmother, is a true native of Triana. The tennis player's grandmother was born on Rodrigo de Triana Street, and her father owned a stationery shop opposite the old market. Due to her husband's job, she moved to Murcia, although she returned to Seville to give birth to her 2 daughters. As a result, the tennis player's mother is Sevillian. Such is his connection with the Andalusian capital that in July 2024, the Seville City Council decided to name Alcaraz adopted son of Triana, a recognition granted to very few. In fact, his grandmother acknowledges that this news was an immense joy, and I like that my bond extends to him, as reported by El Correo de Andalucía after a telephone conversation with Victoria. These words carry great significance regarding the emotion and achievements of the tennis player extending across different family spheres. She also makes important confessions about passing on Sevillian traditions to her grandson. I have spoken many times about Seville with my grandson Carlos, she reveals to the aforementioned outlet. I tried to teach him how to dance sevillanas, but he is nervous and impatient and won't let go of the racket, she says about the athlete's character. In addition to the bond of his mother and grandmother with Seville, his grandfather was also devoted to the Cristo del Cacho, more than sufficient reasons for this recognition. His grandmother, his biggest fan, for the Murcian tennis player, having the support of his family has always been very important. He has expressed this himself in various interviews, and his relatives have also shown it on the few occasions when they have broken their discretion to speak about the athlete. In the summer of 2023, Alcaraz not only won the Wimbledon tournament but also crowned himself the best tennis player in the world at that time, a milestone achieved by very few. Carlos's grandmother wanted to share the emotion she experienced during her grandson's victory in the United Kingdom. She described it as apotheotic and said she had no words to express all the feelings she felt, according to statements she made at the time on Cadena Ser. Nerves were very present during that victory, so much so that my calf cramped up from the tension, Victoria explained. Escandón did not hide her feelings about her grandson's success, as she experienced that match with great emotion. I saw Carlitos struggling to find his place, but he went from less to more, and here we are, she said in her radio appearance, offering her analysis. There were many things to get nervous about. I was so nervous that I didn't even listen to his statements. I only watched the images, she added. Despite the family bond, the athlete's grandmother admitted that due to her grandson's work, she does not see him as much as she would like. It was very emotional. I saw my daughter crying, which is understandable, and I would like to see Carlitos more, but he is always traveling, she confessed about the meetings between grandmother and grandson. His childhood. The success of some athletes in our country is rooted in the education they received, but also in the childhood they had. I remember my childhood as a very beautiful stage, the tennis player declared at the inauguration of Los Pies en la Tierra at the Murcia prison. These simple words show how, over the years, that period has influenced his way of being and of keeping his feet on the ground. The happiness of that early stage has shaped who he is today. I lived happily and in a loving environment, without great luxuries, but today I know that small things make the difference. I didn't need more to be happy, he confessed at the aforementioned inauguration. An environment that has led him, over the years, to want to spend as much time as possible at home and surrounded by his loved